Turkey's KAAN stealth fighter jet faces major setback as U.S. Congress blocks export license for critical F-110 engines. Amid Turkey's grand ambition to become a self-sufficient nation in the defense sector, particularly in fighter jet development, shocking news has come from the United States. The U.S. Congress reportedly withheld the export license for the General Electric F-110 fighter jet engine, which is critical to the continuity of the KAAN program, Turkey's fifth-generation stealth fighter. This delay is not just an ordinary administrative obstacle. The F-110 engine is the heart of the KAAN prototype currently undergoing flight testing. Without this engine, Turkey will struggle to continue with the initial production batch and further testing. Although no official U.S. government statement has explicitly confirmed a permanent block, Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan confirmed that the export license for the engine has indeed been withheld by the U.S. Congress. In American diplomacy, this usually means the licensing process is halted indefinitely and can last for months or even years if political factors come into play. This news immediately sparked concern for Turkey since the KAAN program is highly dependent on F-110 engine supplies for the initial stages before domestically made engines are ready. Without these engines, the production line and test flights could stall, potentially delaying the jet fighter's operational targets. Turkey has actually prepared the turbofan engine TF-35000 TEI for the next phase. However, its development is still far from complete. This means that in the near future, there is no realistic replacement for the F-110. This situation highlights how Turkey's ambitious project, intended to assert national defense independence, is still trapped in dependence on foreign technology that can be exploited as a political pressure tool by the supplier country. To understand how crucial this U.S. congressional decision is, we need to look deeper into the role of the F-110 engine in the KAAN program. The KAAN fighter jet is being developed by Turkish Aerospace Industries as Turkey's first fifth-generation aircraft. It was designed as a replacement for the F-35 Lightning II after Turkey was removed from that program by the U.S. following Turkey's decision to purchase the Russian S-400 air defense system. In other words, the KAAN is a symbol of Turkey's determination to stand on its own feet in the modern aerospace defense industry. The aircraft combines stealth design, advanced avionics, and long-range strike capabilities. However, one critical element Turkey does not yet fully possess is the jet engine. This is where the General Electric F-110 comes in. The engine was originally used in the F-16 Fighting Falcon and F-15 E-Strike Eagle. Turkey has been producing the General Electric F-110 domestically under license for the F-16 for decades, giving them integration experience with their own platforms. For KAAN, the F-110 was chosen as a proven interim solution, so the prototype could fly without waiting for the domestic engine to be developed. The first KAAN prototype successfully carried out its maiden flight in March 2024 using a pair of F-110 engines. This achievement boosted public and government confidence in the project. However, from the start, analysts warned that dependence on U.S.-made engines would be a strategic vulnerability that Washington could exploit if political relations soured. The withholding of the F-110 export license by the U.S. Congress is, of course, inseparable from the broader political context. Since 2019, U.S.-Turkey relations have deteriorated sharply after Ankara decided to purchase the Russian S-400 system, which was deemed a threat to NATO security. As a result, Turkey was expelled from the F-35 program and sanctioned under the CAATSA law. Although bilateral relations have somewhat improved in recent years, suspicions in the U.S. regarding Turkey's strategic intentions remain high. In America's arms export system, Congress plays a major role through notification and review rights. If Congress does not approve or delays the export license, then the State Department cannot issue it. Both Democratic and Republican lawmakers have criticized several of Turkey's foreign policies, such as its stance toward Israel and its policies in Syria. Some legislators also view exporting jet engines to Turkey as a strategic risk since the engines could be used in platforms beyond U.S. control, such as the KAAN, which could potentially be sold to countries not aligned with American foreign policy. Beyond politics, there are also technological considerations. The F-110 engine contains components and manufacturing processes considered sensitive. While Turkey has assembled these engines locally, exporting them for use in a fifth-generation fighter like KAAN is viewed as more sensitive than for the F-16. There are concerns in the U.S. that such technology could leak or be used to bolster the capabilities of Turkey's partners, such as Azerbaijan, Pakistan, or even non-NATO countries targeted as potential KAAN customers. This is why the withholding of the export license can last a long time, even without any official public announcement. This engine export halt could trigger a significant domino effect on the KAAN program and Turkey's position in the global arms market. First, technically, Turkey faces the risk of delaying its initial production batch. The second and third prototypes, scheduled to fly in 2025 to 2026, will also most likely still need F110 engines. If the export license is not approved soon, the testing schedule could slip by months or even years. This would disrupt Turkey's target of delivering the first production batch to the Turkish Air Force in the early 2030s. Second, the delay could undermine the confidence of countries already showing interest in KAAN. One such country often mentioned is Pakistan, which sees it as a long-term alternative following the JF-17 project. Other countries, such as Azerbaijan and some Gulf states, are also interested since Turkey promotes KAAN as a fifth-generation fighter at cheaper cost than the F-35. However, if the F-110 engines are unavailable or if export licenses depend on U.S. political approval, then any potential buyer will also be subject to American decisions, a paradox that many nations seeking non-Western options want to avoid. Third, this situation pushes Turkey to accelerate its domestic engine project, the turbofan engine TF-35000. Yet Turkish engineers face enormous challenges. A fifth-generation jet engine requires extremely high levels of thermal efficiency, material tolerance to extreme temperatures, and reliability, standards that are difficult to achieve even from major powers. The United States itself took decades to perfect the Pratt & Whitney F119 and F135 engines for the F-22 and F-35. China also faced great difficulties with its WS-15 engine for the J-20. This means Turkey is unlikely to have a ready domestic engine within just a year or two. As a result, they remain in a period where KAAN is still dependent on U.S. foreign policy decisions.